That's right. So we gotta go into the tough topics because this is what it is.
Of
You
course.
have a lot of people like Umar Jhonson who's hold on, wait.
Did
Get a tight shot on him because I want you to see. Hold up. So I'm gonna say his name.
Loosen it up.
I'm gonna say his name one more again, and I want you to just say. So Barack Obama has been president.
Yes.
Barack Obama has been getting a lot of flack from Umar Jhonson. But let's. I mean, we gotta talk about it.
I'll talk about it. Let me get this.
Gotta talk about it. Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
We gotta talk.
Really? You mean tell me a hotep? You think I care about what a hotep has to say about our president?
Okay.
I mean, do you really think? I mean, Dr. Umar. Dr.
We gotta give him his credit.
He doesn't have a doctorate.
He's a psychologist.
He doesn't have a doctorate.
He's a psychologist.
He doesn't have a doctorate.
Psychologist.
As a journalist who does investigative reporting, there has been no proof and no evidence that we have no tracing of what university he alleges he's got his doctorate from.
Okay.
And let me tell you something, as a person with my bachelor's in communications from the University of Pennsylvania,
any
person, any academic or any scholar who ever claims to have any type of degrees or anything and calls himself a scholar, Mark Lamont Hill is very self-important into himself, but he's going to remind you where he got his stuff from. He got one of his degrees from Penn.
He was here.
He was at Morehouse. Of course he was. But
look, you gotta give him his credit. He's one of us.
Yes, he is.
He looks like us.
He likes to take up a lot of the seat of other people that can talk, but that's fine.
Mark Lamont Hill, shout out. Gotta shout him out.
I mean, I shout him out. I just, would like him to open the table to other people, especially more women of color, more LGBTQ people. Rather than talk about issues that necessarily you don't necessarily am a part of directly, you should open the mic and pass the mic. If I'm talking about women issues, I think a woman should be present. When I interview people about transgender issues, I talk to transgender people. I'm not talking at them or about them. I'm talking with them, or they're just talking. But that's that. Back to this doctorate, whatever. A lot of
he's
a
certified credential.
Where did the certification come from?
Wait. Certified credential and licensed psychologist. That's a fact.
Where?
But
where? I just want to see the receipts. I'm like Whitney right now.
Deny his doctorate.
All I'm going to say is use Google, people. Please use Google. Do your homework. Go to Google.
Double check Google, because there's some stuff on Google
there is stuff on Google, but like I said before,
double check.
There are credible sources and people who have interviewed and done their research, myself included. This man is a hack. He's a hack. He's a community hack. He's exploiting our community to, funnel his own reputation, his pockets, creating schools or fundraising for schools that he has yet to create, programs that he has not. Just the self-loathing things he say about black women, LGBT children with disabilities. His ideals and his beliefs are only that for a certain group of people. And I'm tired of what I call the bitter black men club, which is not all black men, but there's a bitter black men club of disgruntled black men who feel like they're entitled to the things of society without necessarily having to work as hard. Trifling men who in one breath speaks about how women are queens, but have been caught talking to strippers and women and cheating and stepping out. Hypocrites, complete hypocrites and hoteps, sexist male chauvinists that will want to run around and give all these prescriptions to the community, but profiting off of the community. Fundraising about schools, talking about those who don't, saying things that they blame single black mothers for homosexuality. As if it's an illness or disease.
Wait.
He did that.
Okay, so
he did that.
Okay, so you're saying
he said that.
Now you're saying that he blamed
Google it.
Single black mothers.
Yes.
For
verbatim, YouTube it. He basically said that the reason why there are so many gay black children is because of single mothers, because they're not having no male influence or anything like that. Offensive. Things like that.
Interesting.
When you're criticizing single black women and not realizing that that those situations, number one, can be by choice to get out situations that are different.
Or socialized. We agree that if a child is raised a certain way, they take certain behaviors. We can agree to that, right?
In what way?
In any type of way.
No, I don't agree with that.
So would you agree that if a child is raised in an abusive situation, they'll pick up some abusive qualities or act to a degree abusive to certain
in
people.
In a sense. Hurt people.
Okay.
But being gay is not something.
That's not what I
said.
did.
Well, I was just saying that.
We talk about socialized
but I'm talking
right?
in response to Umar Johnson's remarks.
Okay.
So that your audience can know. Because what looks like you're saying, what is coming across. So you're not saying it, but that's deflecting from what I'm saying, of course. So I'm saying that he made causation, correlation. That's a false correlation that he made.
Okay.
And that is why I can't listen to somebody that if you're going to create division amongst our own people in our own community, how can you say you're trying to unify the community when you don't see an individual like myself who is serving the community as a part of it? So when you have that kind of that kind of rhetoric that is divisive and disparaging towards women and LGBTQ individuals in our community, then you're not trying to liberate us all. Because if you don't respect black women's position in this narrative and in this movement, then you're really not trying to unify the community. You're trying to do it on your own terms, on your own place. And that kind of demagogue type behavior is the same type of ignorance and behavior we're seeing in Trump. It's my way or the highway. How I see it and how I view the world is how everyone else should be. And that is what it is. He also lied about being connected to Fredrick Douglass. That is not true. A Fredrick Douglass descendant who is certified with their paperwork called him out on that. The ancestry shows no direct correlation to him and Fredrick Douglass. He's been running around saying he's connected to Fredrick Douglass for a long time.
A descendant of Fredrick Douglass.
That they have the heritage, they have the documents, they have the paperwork, they have the family heritage. You can connect your ancestry, you can have them when you know the tree. He has not been able to legitimately back the fact that he's a descendant to Fredrick Douglass. He has not provided no paperwork whatsoever, no heirloom, nothing. But he's going around here taking advantage of vulnerable black people, working class black people, struggling black people, and giving them this sense of elevated hope or empowerment that is rooted on homophobia, sexism, and division. And so I don't care what you have to say about the nation's first black president that has done a lot for criminal justice reform, has put two, not one, but two black attorney generals, who has brought the country to have a national conversation about race, has brought in activists in his White House, and has elevated him and his wife together, the conversations about equity, access, and making equal opportunity. So if you have not done that, legislative-wise, or politically, or in any kind of way, because you're still trying to fundraise for it, because you still believe that money is the only way that you can have influence, then you can take several seats. And that's why I could care less what he has to say.
I hear that. But you see, it's getting hot, yo. So before because we definitely need a break after this. But I do want to say, do you believe, because we spoke about accountability, right? Do you believe that you have someone like a Barack Obama, president, I got to give him his president, Barack Obama, whether he's first black or not, whether he's a great president.
I get what you're saying.
Wait. But we do have to hold people accountable. Accountability, right? So would you? So this is the question that I have for you. Do you believe he could have done more? Because one of his Umar Jhonson, Dr. Umar Jhonson, from what I know, right, from what he says, right.
I'm not calling him doctor.
Okay, which is fine. But do you believe that President Barack Obama has done as much as he could have, or do you believe he? I'm trying to preface the question because this is one of his Umar Jhonson, right? One of his issues is that he believed President Obama could have done more.
Yes.
So the question is, do you believe Barack Obama could have done more?
I'm going to put it this way. Until you sit in the Oval Office and you sit in that seat and you deal with these issues, he is the president of the United States of America. He has done laws and has put in laws that has not impacted just black people, but all of us. And so we don't give credit for Obamacare. That really helps a lot of us more than anybody else. Just because it didn't say Black Obamacare didn't mean that it didn't impact us, okay? The stuff that he's done for the environment, the grants that he has given to sanctuary cities and and those grants like he's given to Philadelphia, that is how he has. Just because he doesn't put a big, huge, this is for black people, didn't mean that he didn't. And so all of these people, Ask yourself, what are you doing in the community before you start saying anything else? I don't see. I believe that there should be legitimate critiques, but when we have this leverage of can he do more or whatever, his impact in general. The fact that he is the president, the fact, the stature of him having the audacity to run as a black man will have an impact. It has had an impact on the election of so many black elected officials in this country that has brought in a wave of black political power that we have not seen in a long time. So he gets credit for that.
Yes,
he gets credit for his policy he's done. And I do believe that we can have fair critiques. But when we start saying, could he do more, could we do? Until you have been in that seat, until you see the things that he has to go against, then I don't have anything for anybody to say about a 2-term black president.
So as journalists, right? As journalists, this is point blank. I gotta get what is your answer? Is it yes or no, or is it yes or no, or you don't? I don't think he did enough.
I think he has done enough. I think
does, so the answer is yes.
I think he has done enough, and I think that but see, I just am conflicted with a conversation about enough or not enough. Right. There is plenty of things to be done. But can he do all of it? No.
I don't think
but what he's done is he's pushed the needle. I'll put it this way. He's pushed the needle as far as he could have with the type of Congress and Senate that he was up against. Right. You really think that because he got elected in 2008, racism and everything else was going to be a post-racial society? Right. See, that's the Kool-Aid people like Omar and them somewhat drink. I never drank that. I knew that when he got elected, first of all, I was scared that he might have faced assassination. The fact that he's still alive, the fact that he is still alive and was able to do this without as scandals. No scandals. No scandals. No reputation. Nothing came out the woodwork. The fact that he's been able to get through these 8 years and avoid that kind of personal attacks on his family, and he's been able to handle that in stride and deal with all the things that's happened in this country since then. He has done beyond enough. And I think that people need to, need to really take a self in the mirror and ask themselves, when have you ever held a black elected official this high up? Because who was the highest ranking before him? Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State.
And they wouldn't even call him president in some places.
No.
How about that?
Colin Powell, all of them. You don't see people doing that much.
Absolutely.
So I just feel like as people in our community, we got to do some soul searching and have some moments to appreciate some things. Yes, there are some things that are messed up, but we can also have the moment to just give people their props. It's always a question of, well, this was good, but could they did this? We always have glass half empty.
Oh, I agree.
We have made history.
Yes.
We have made history. The country will never be the same because of the work that he's done and continue to do. And I don't got time to think about what he could have did more, because you know what, that's just going nit for nit. There's always more. The country could have done more. We should have met him halfway. We should have voted more.
Listen, the country should continue doing what they supposed to do.
Yes.
But we're gonna stay on that note right there. Fantastic. Look, I'm your boy Charles Gregory.
I'm Umar Jhonson.
And this is the DNC wrap up. And as you see, it's getting hot and heavy. Look, Ernest has never had a loss of words, and that's why he's here. So we'll be right back after this.
Woo!